have the pleasure and the opportunity to be joined with the Stetson Sports Medicine Team of the Indian National Finals Rodeo, a team comprised of athletic trainers, doctors, MDs. We have chiropractic doctors on staff as well, and they're all volunteering their time. I'm going to let you go ahead and start us off with some introductions. We'll just keep going down the line.
Sure, yeah. So my name's Dylan Colwell. I'm an athletic trainer with the Stetson team. I'm currently based out of Phoenix, Arizona, and I work for the Los Angeles Angels at this time. And it's about my sixth, seventh year doing this. It all runs together. So, yeah, happy to be
Right on.
back.
Right on.
Well, I'm Tyler Oberlander. I'm based out of North Platte, Nebraska. I actually manage his clinic. I'm an athletic trainer, but I manage his clinic and spend a lot of time covering rodeos throughout the year with other organizations, and including one that we co-created. And Dr. Steve Williamson and I co-created this one. So yeah.
Nathan Day Jacobson. I'm an orthopedic surgeon from North Platte, Nebraska, specializing in sports medicine.
Kelly Whitney Babcock. I'm an athletic trainer. I'm based out of Vegas now. Just took a job with Cirque du Soleil, so working some other rodeo stuff during the summer, and now based here.
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah,
That's a huge feat.
it's
That's
pretty
awesome.
awesome.
That's elite. That's world class.
Yeah, they've got some pretty awesome athletes there.
What does that look like as a trainer? Like
So
because obviously everybody knows that you're gonna have a trainer for football, basketball, track, all the regular old sports. But I feel like not everybody gets to be a trainer like that.
yeah, I mean it's pretty similar to, we structure it a lot like college athletics. We have a clinic there that we work out of. We have strength and conditioning coaches that we work with, and then we're backstage during shows to cover shows in case something happens.
Hmm. And to prepare to kind of tape them up and make sure everybody's
Yeah,
fixed
because
up.
of costumes and stuff, we can't do a lot of taping. So a lot of it is just trying to get people warmed up and stretched
Yeah,
out and that kind of thing.
that's awesome. I was a college athlete. I played football in college, and I know I was in the training room every morning, every night, like you. Especially that fourth, fifth year in your career, like you kind of have to be in that training. It's more prehab than it is rehab. Like you're making sure that nothing does go wrong. But you guys have seen some action this week. Um, Not only the injuries that just the rodeo world brings, but also prehab. I think it's cool. You guys are open before the rodeo. You guys are open afterwards. Talk about the contestants, how they have the opportunity to use you guys. I mean, world class trainers, a doctor. You know what I mean? Like you guys are the best of the best. Like this is an A team for a training staff for a rodeo. Talk about how the contestants are utilizing you guys and kind of where that's been.
You're the head guy. Go ahead.
No, actually, we were just talking about this all week, actually. So we talk about how this group's come a long way in 6 years, 7 years, as long as, the group of us have been doing it before Dr. Williamson and Tyler really started it. But we talk about the recognition that the brand that we have has. It's good to see the same faces come into the room and say hello and know what we're there for. They know they can go get a water or a Gatorade out of the fridge, and they know they can get worked on right afterwards. They know exactly where to go. We don't change things up on them. It's the same familiar faces with Kelly, Tyler, Doc Jacobson, Rich Still, Paul Richter, Tom Shazik, like the same names, same faces come in. So it's a nice little repeat year after year with these guys, and it's good to see them come in and then just know what they're getting. They know that they're getting top tier treatment from top tier athletic trainers and doctors.
Yeah.
So the consistency makes a big difference. We've definitely seen it a lot this year. I was unfortunately not here last year, but coming back in and comparing it from 2 years ago to now, it's just been elite.
Right. Your body's a tool in the rodeo world. Yes, a lot of the contestants have horses and stuff, but I mean, your body is going to treat you as good as you treat it. Is there kind of a correlation with the success we've had this week and a lot of these bigger name guys? We have INFR guys down here, WPRA cowgirls. Does that correlate? Like, have you guys seen I guess a correlation of taking care of yourself and doing well in the arena as well.
Yeah, so our program started in college rodeo. That's kind of where we cut our teeth, and we've always told those kids that your body is your most important weapon. It's got to be sharp, and the higher the level of the athlete, the more they understand that, and so they're really good about coming in, and Dylan describes it perfectly. Even when it's more for, hey, I'm getting water now, I'm going to tape later. They know their body just as well as we do, and a lot of those PRCA, NFR type guys, PBR guys, they know the anatomy, and they can even tell you, I want more here or there, and that's when we can do our best work because they understand their bodies and how to use them.
Right.
So our job is actually easier there. It's harder for the junior, like the junior rodeo at the INFR. It's a lot harder with those kids because you're educating on not even anatomy, but just the philosophy of what we're talking about, of making sure you're in top tier, top tier shape, and understand that sleep is important, and it's a long week, and it gets, the education gets tedious with those kids. But yeah, when there is a definite effect. The higher the level of the competition, the feeling of our room is completely different.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people see you guys with your logo, Stetson Sports Medicine Team. Oh no, somebody's hurt. I don't want to see those guys because I'm hurt. But people don't know that the trainers are there in the prehab world as well. Like I talked about, like we're in a whole different era. It's the rodeo athletes aren't pork and beans and Marlboro Reds anymore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a diet
Yeah.
that goes into it. Like you guys, how are you guys coaching up these athletes on taking care of their body throughout the week?
Well, they're just curious. The ones that are curious are easy because they ask really good questions and we give answers. The ones that you see the potential in, you have to teach them. Like, man, if you would just focus on posterior chain muscle strengthening, or, hey, instead of a gas station burrito after the rodeo, you could meal prep this way, and it's just as cost effective and kind of opens their eyes. Not every guy absorbs that right away. But the serious ones do. I've long said that whether it's the NFR or here, if you go down to that gym at 8 a.m., the guys that are winning are there, and if it's a very complex algorithm of diet, exercise, mental fortitude, and it's pretty extensive as far as these guys. The ones that, like the Chris Ledoux cowboy, like
Yeah.
the real cowboy,
Yeah.
they're few and far between. And I
Mhm.
know that there's people that really miss that, but these are professional extreme sport athletes now, and they train and they think like one too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give a perfect example of that. Wyatt Batoni was in, and I hope he sees this. Wyatt Batoni is in. We've had a routine all week just getting ready. The big thing is you get ready for an hour and a half, 2 hours for an 8-second ride.
Mhm.
Time breaks down, right? So we were in today, and he gets done, and he grabs. I go, I ask him if he wants a water. I do this thing because I know he's going to say no. I go, hey man, there's frozen Snickers up there too in the freezer. He goes, maybe after the ride. I go, you're not coming in. You're not. Coming in. He didn't take it. More for me, I guess.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Doc, I want to talk about your role on the team. The trainers are there kind of for prehab, tape, small treatment items, but talk about you and the other doctors on staff. How does your guys' role come into play during this week?
Well, we have, I'm an orthopedic surgeon, but we also have family practice doctors. We have a general surgery traumatologist on the staff. So we have a really wide variety of surgical skills. Some of the most basic stuff we do is, the various lacerations that occur with, especially with rough stock riders, but sometimes it's a barrel racer that clips a barrel, that kind of thing. We treat the roughies and the timies at the same time. But they save them a trip to the ER, save them a trip to the urgent care, can stitch those things up in the training room. Our real goal is to identify the main injury, and then figure out ways that we can rehab it or protect it to get them back out there. Our goal is not to pull people from competition.
Right.
We have to do that at times, just from a true safety standpoint. But the real goal is to optimize their body so they can go out there and compete again. And having our different skill sets in that room really help. Dylan works with professional baseball players on a daily basis, so a lot of crossover there with the overhead athlete and roping. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You change your arm slots, those kinds of things, a lot
Correct.
differently with roping than you do with a pitcher, but you get a lot of the same types of injuries. And Kelly's experience now with Cirque du Soleil, like, wow, those are world-class athletes. A lot of them are Olympians, and so you get these little different niches of people together, and you get a really broad base knowledge in that room. And we try to apply different people's specialties to whoever comes in the room and whatever we kind of identify. And as a doc's role, it's really more of a helping identify, know the anatomy, know our physical exam stuff to help direct these guys so that they can really optimize that guy or gal and get them back out there as quickly as possible and as safe as possible.
Correct. Yeah, I like how you compared the team ropers and the people in the roping events to baseball players. I'm going to go on a limb here and say Cirque du Soleil is kind of like the bull riding. Those get-offs, dismounts have kind of been all over the board. But no, Doc, I want to talk about how easy it is to have outstanding trainers as well as other doctors on staff. You know, like you talked about your guys' different skill sets, your different experience, your different pinpoints that you guys all know about. But how does the handoff look from you guys diagnosing somebody or knowing what needs to be done? How does that handoff look to the trainers? Like, talk about the team that you get to work with.
Well, it's all about communication at all levels. And so it happened today. You know, somebody came into the training room while I was down in the arena. We have a new injury involving a joint. I'm the ortho guy, so of course, hey, can you come take a look at this? They've already done their exam. They've kind of come up with what their treatment plan would be for that. I do an independent exam. We haven't really talked beforehand, just knowing the joint. And then once we've both kind of done our independent exams or assessments of the patient, talk together, come up with a common diagnosis and treatment pathway. So it's kind of a double check, but we're basically trying to optimize our skill sets and the knowledge base. If it's more of an abdominal wound or abdominal injury, chest injury, those kinds of things, more soft tissue based with organs, that kind of thing, well, then we're going to reach to a different doctor than myself, who's going to be more of the shoulder, the knee, the elbow, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. You guys have an outstanding team, and I know that the Indian National Finals Rodeo organization is very honored to have you guys down here every year. And I just can't thank you guys enough for keeping our world-class athletes, and looking forward to another year with you guys. Hopefully we see you guys back all next year.
Oh, plan to. Yeah. We have a blast. This is a lot of fun coming here, and we love working with the athletes that we do. And the INFR staff is outstanding to work with. Stetson is great to work with. They really take care of us and treat us very nicely. It's a pleasure to come.
We also, it's not just athletic trainers and physicians. We can't forget our chiropractors, and we have a massage therapist, and Rich Still is a physical therapist with us, and he's taught me more than I think anyone ever. But I always want to make sure that it's everybody. Like there's only 4 of us here,
right?
But when they take a team photo, I think you guys took one Thursday.
It's like 15 people.
It's
Your
a
team
huge
photo was just as big as a contestant.
It's
lineup.
a huge
Yeah.
group, and when we went to select the people that we wanted on it, it was very carefully constructed with people with rodeo experience, rodeo knowledge. They have the right mentality for a championship event, and they're reliable. And the contestants, and Dylan mentioned this, it's consistency. There's consistency, but then there's a consistency to excellence, and I feel like that's what we have. But it started in 2017 with, I think I showed up with, I think I used extra credit card points to pay for the flight just to show up, and then we kind of felt each other out, Dr. Williams and I, and it went well. And the next year we brought you in, and these guys fell in pretty quick after that. But anyway, I just want to make sure that we everyone understands how big the team is and how comprehensive we really make it.
Let's kind of build on that. Just quickly, tell me about the start. like what was the number you guys started with, and what number are you guys at now?
The number we started, so Dr. Blair Matheson and Dr. Steve Williamson were the original physicians. They've been with the INFR for a long time. I'm not going to embarrass myself by guessing. They've been here. Yeah, I'm going to insult somebody by throwing a number out there.
Yeah, Dr. Matheson mentioned a 19 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I heard Steve say 16 or 19 or something like that.
Been a long, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was at a high school rodeo in it was in Gordon, Nebraska, and that's roughly my mom grew up in Martin, South Dakota, and so instead of using a hotel offer, I drove up to spend time with my grandpa, and my grandpa and my uncle Lee Hicks were the ones that said, "Hey, you should cover the INFR," because I had some things going on that were getting pretty cool, and I literally went to the website and reached out on the contact us link, and Donna responded on the email and connected Dr. Williamson and I, and that was right before the INFR, and so yeah, he had me come out and for the last couple of days, and we did kind of that feel out year, and that was in 2017. It was fun, and I think we contributed, and it was just essentially me. And then that year we got serious about it. We sat down what my vision was, and I guess Dr. Williamson was gracious enough to let me drive that. And I envisioned what we have now, 4 or 5 athletic trainers, physical therapists, a chiropractic team, massage therapy, variety of specialties. So it started from him and I's dream and just hanging out, kind of figuring out ideas. And I think the first year that we really arrived, that I felt like we had it down, was probably 2019 area. 2020 was obviously a kind of a wild card, but I think 2019 was probably that first year.
I believe the chiropractors too, Dr. Finbar and a couple of his partners, they have a longer tenure with the INFR than what our sports medicine team as it is now.
But now you're all under the same umbrella, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was something when we came together was all the members of the proposed team had to communicate well and had to get along.
Right.
And that can be rare in medicine. I'm a surgeon. Surgeons have egos. I love but our group never really has had that issue. We've had multiple surgeons on it, the chiropractors, and that's where tends to be friction in orthopedics. And the guys are great. The chiropractors that we have working with us are outstanding. They were very welcoming to me, and I think we've had a great working relationship from the day we showed up. And that's just because the mentality coming together was, what can we do for the contestants? What can we do for this program and this organization, and provide the best care possible? And we took our egos out of it, and just the overall goal was the driving force, and it's really brought everybody together, and it's really a great situation.
Well, awesome. It's been a pleasure having you guys. I'm glad we gotten to know you guys, and it's not just athletic trainers aren't just for when things go bad, and your guys' staff isn't just there for when things go bad. You guys have such a huge role in the success of our athletes, and we look forward to many more years to come. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.